Hello, my motor enthusiasts. Autosport 2024 is revving up with several thrilling storylines to track. Carlos Sainz and Pascal Wehrlein are already in the winner's circle, with Dakar Rally and Mexico City E-Prix victories respectively. Yet the wheel keeps turning, and 2025 signifies a shifting gear in the F1 driver market. All eyes are on the future of Carlos Sainz at Ferrari and Fernando Alonso at Aston Martin, while the second seat at Red Bull also stirs intrigue. The F1 ground effect revival will further stir the pot. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri, the rookie sensation of 2023, is anticipated to continue his smooth and precise driving performance in 2024. Belgian team WRT also steps into the spotlight, competing for outright honors in the World Endurance Championships hypercar class alongside BMW. And don't forget the American muscle cars like Ford's Mustang GT3 and Chevrolet's Corvette Z06 GT3R. They'll be flexing their V8 power in GT3 racing. But the thrill doesn't stop there. The Aussie powerhouse Shane van Gisbergen promises to make a splash in NASCAR, while Marc Marquez reinvigorates his racing passion at Gresini Ducati in MotoGP. Yes, my friends, the excitement is real, and we're just getting started. Hey there, fuel fanatics. This is your host, Enzo.
And I'm William, at your service.
We're your go-to pit crew for all things motorsport here on F1 Motor Fever Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss a single lap of the action. Now let's go full throttle. As the motorsport winter draws to a close, we're already seeing the first victories of 2024. Carlos Sainz has triumphed yet again at the Dakar Rally for Audi, and Pascal Wehrlein has set the pace in the all-electric series with a commanding performance at the Mexico City E-Prix for Porsche. Yet these are just the opening stages of what promises to be an action-packed year in motorsport. One storyline that's particularly sparking intrigue is, of course, the F1 driver market for 2025.
That's so true. With 5 drivers including Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, and Piastri having contracts locked in for next year, the rest of the seats seem up for grabs. If Sergio Perez doesn't step up his game this year, Red Bull's second seat could become a hot property. There's also uncertainty around Carlos Sainz at Ferrari and Fernando Alonso at Aston Martin.
Indeed, and let's not forget about Alex Albon. Could he make a comeback to a top team after 2 solid years at Williams? Plus, the revival of ground effect is entering its 3rd year, and that itself could shake things up in the market.
I must say, I've never thought about it from that angle. It definitely adds another layer of intrigue to the mix.
For those just joining us now, let's quickly recap our discussion. We've been examining the unfolding 2024 motorsport season, with Carlos Sainz and Pascal Wehrlein already scoring major wins at the Dakar Rally and Mexico City E-Prix respectively. But the real intrigue, we reckon, is in the Formula One driver market for 2025. With only 5 drivers having locked in contracts, there's lots of speculation on the remaining seats. Now, what's your take again on the potential reshuffle?
It's quite fascinating, isn't it? The uncertainty surrounding seats at Red Bull, Ferrari, and Aston Martin certainly adds an interesting dynamic to the season. Plus, we can't overlook the possibility of an Alex Albon comeback.
Absolutely. And don't forget the potential impact of the ground effect revival. It's sure to charm both drivers and fans. Shall we pick up where we left off? Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the rising stars from F2. One driver who's caught my attention is Oscar Piastri. After a stellar rookie F1 season, the 22-year-old Australian is poised for even greater things in 2024.
I couldn't agree more. Piastri's performance last season was a breath of fresh air. His ability to learn quickly, coupled with his knack for delivering devastating qualifying performances, shows he's got the potential to be one of the greats.
Exactly. And his smooth, precise driving style speaks volumes about his composure. Couple that with his deadpan sound bites, and you've got a driver who is as captivating off the track as he is on it.
True. And let's not forget how he held his own against Lando Norris in qualifying averages. That, to me, proves he's got what it takes.
Indeed. And now that he's familiar with the entire calendar, save for the returning Chinese Grand Prix, we might witness even more impressive performances from him. But let's also cast an eye towards the World Endurance Championship's top class. With BMW, Asada Fraschini, and Lamborghini joining the fray, and Alpine returning to hypercar, it's going to be a year rich in variety and quality. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention WRT's impressive track record in GT racing. They are stepping into the spotlight with BMW's M Hybrid V8. With their precision in pit stops and operational excellence, it's going to be exciting to see what they can achieve.
Oh, absolutely. WRT's credentials speak for themselves. From the start, they've shown themselves capable of excelling in any format they participate in. The shift to the top of sports car racing is a natural progression for them, and I'm excited to see what they'll bring to the table in the WEC.
I couldn't agree more. And while we're on the subject of exciting developments, the resurgence of American muscle cars in global racing is also worth noting. The iconic Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Corvette will be flexing their muscles in both the World Endurance Championship and the IMSA Sports Car Championship. How thrilling is that?
Couldn't be more thrilled, to be honest. This head-to-head between the Mustang and Corvette is going to be a real spectacle. It's a golden age for GT3, I must say.
Indeed it is. So what's been your standout point so far from our discussion?
Well, it's hard to choose just one. The potential shakeup in the F1 driver market, Piastri's promising career trajectory, and the return of American muscle on the racing scene. All these elements make for an exciting year in motorsports. But if I had to choose, I'd say the anticipation around WRT's jump to the top of sports car racing is particularly thrilling.
I couldn't agree more. It's certainly shaping up to be a fascinating year in motorsport. Let's dive deeper into the World Endurance Championship and its growing appeal. Moving on, let's talk about the anticipated showdown between the Chevrolet Corvette Z06 GT3 and the Ford Mustang GT3. Both iconic cars have been meticulously engineered for the track, boasting 5.5-liter V8 engines. Not only that, but the driver lineups for each series are equally impressive.
They certainly are. Having the likes of Earl Bamber, Antonio Garcia, and Alexander Sims in the Corvettes, and Andy Preaux, Mike Rockenfeller, and Harry Tinknell in the Mustangs is going to make for some fascinating battles on the track.
Absolutely. And with the Daytona 24 hours just around the corner, we won't have long to wait to see these rivals in action. But shifting gears a little, let's talk about Shane van Gisbergen's move to NASCAR. The New Zealander has been a dominant force in Australia's Supercars series, and his NASCAR Cup victory on debut shows he's one to watch.
No question about it. Van Gisbergen's debut performance was nothing short of spectacular. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the different circuit configurations and a different style of racing than he's accustomed to.
Indeed. It might be a bit premature to talk about championship success, but there's no denying he's a talented driver. It's going to be fascinating to watch his journey unfold in the coming season. Now let's move on to the buzz surrounding Marc Marquez's move to Ducati. After a few challenging years due to injuries and a dip in performance from Honda, his switch to Ducati appears to be as much about reigniting his passion for the sport as it is about competitiveness.
And rightfully so. His transition to Ducati has been one of the most talked about stories. It seems we are yet to see the full potential of Marquez. He was just 0.171 seconds off the pace in his first test. And that's astonishing considering he was riding under his full potential due to an arm pump issue.
Absolutely. If he manages to win a world title with a satellite team, he'd be the first to do so. And this would tie him with Valentino Rossi's record of 7 Premier Class titles.
Indeed, it's an exhilarating prospect. It would be one of the greatest comeback stories in the world of sports.
On the flip side, the British Touring Car Championship's decision to double the hybrid boost allowance, although interesting, hasn't generated quite the same level of excitement.
True, but sometimes it's the technical and strategic aspects of the sport that can make quite the difference on the track. We'll just have to wait and see how this plays out.
Speaking of which, a lot of the information we've discussed today comes from an insightful article I read on Autosport, published on the 23rd of January, 2024, by their talented staff.
Autosport, a trusted name in motorsport journalism. It's always important to gather your facts from reliable sources, isn't it?
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with sources like these. Now back to the topic at hand. Moving on, there's quite a buzz around Andrea Kimi Antonelli in the junior single-seater scene. He's been tipped as the biggest talent since Max Verstappen, which is a bold statement. But it's not just about Antonelli. His Prema teammate Ollie Behrman and Victor Martins at ART are also worth keeping an eye on. Martins, in particular, is expected to be in the thick of the title battle.
The beauty of the junior leagues, always brimming with potential future stars. Beyond that, we're getting a glimpse of some promising talent in the Middle East's Formula Regional and F4 races. Deegan Fairclough, who gained a substantial fanbase last year due to his ferocious racing style and car control, is one to watch.
Speaking of potential, Arrow McLaren could be the dark horse in the upcoming IndyCar series. They didn't secure a win last season, but they were a constant force to reckon with against the well-established teams of Chip Ganassi Racing and Team Penske. Pato O'Ward, with his full-send approach and outspoken character, has become a fan favorite. With the team experiencing significant growth last year, we could be in for a real surprise.
Absolutely. We should always remain optimistic about such prospects. After all, isn't that what makes the sport so captivating and unpredictable?
Couldn't agree more. Regardless of the outcomes, it's the anticipation and the thrill of the unknown that keeps us on the edge of our seats. We should make the most out of this excitement and keep our eyes peeled for what these emerging talents have in store for us. There's an intriguing wild card entering the fray this season: David Malukas. He'll be joining Arrow McLaren after 2 seasons with Dale Coyne Racing. He's stepping into the seat that reigning champion Alex Palou was expected to fill, but declined. It's interesting to note that both Malukas and Palou had similar first seasons at Dale Coyne Racing, each claiming a podium and 3 top 10 finishes. But Malukas edged out with a second-place finish at Gateway.
Indeed, it's going to be fascinating to see how he performs and whether he can upset the established order a bit. The championship has been dominated by either the Andretti team, Chip Ganassi Racing, or Team Penske every year since 2003. Do you reckon McLaren has what it takes to shake things up?
Hard to predict, but this is what makes the sport so thrilling. Arrow McLaren certainly has a lot of potential, and they've shown they're not afraid to disrupt the status quo. With the new talents at their disposal, they might just be the ones to watch out for in the near future. William, what's the word from the online motor racing community? Any juicy comments?
Interestingly, there's been a lively discussion going on about the Madrid track map for the 2026 season. User Puzzleheaded Rain 230 posted a satellite version of the track map, which sparked off quite the debate.
Oh really? What did they have to say?
Well, user Vos Paco noted sarcastically that they could have tried to fit in some more roundabouts as there weren't enough, in his opinion. Cappuccino Nation responded by suggesting that the drivers should be allowed to choose which side of the roundabout they will use.
I'm sure that would add a little extra excitement.
Indeed, and the good ship Rogopop took it a step further, saying that they want the drivers to be required to circle through the roundabout once before exiting. Emperor Morlock suggested replacing the 5-second penalty with a go 3 times around the roundabout penalty.
I can just imagine it. An F1 race turning into a game of roundabout roulette.
That's a good one. Krabby T77 joked, saying, 3 roundabouts to Ocon, and Ammerman added, "Oh no, Ocon threw up into his helmet again."
Oh dear, poor Ocon.
Yes. Well, user Mr. Daniel95 also voiced his opinion, saying that the Formula E battery life improves, and yet F1 battery life made them lose power in the middle of the straights in 2026, thanking Liberty for this.
A little bit of sarcasm there, I see. Quite a colorful discussion happening online, eh?
Certainly. It's always interesting to hear the different perspectives from fans around the world.
That's a wrap on today's episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast, folks. We've had some insightful discussions on the upcoming season and the potential game changers. Your company is always cherished, and we appreciate you spending your time with us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and activate those notifications so you never miss an episode. Your support truly fuels our work. Share our podcast with your friends, your family, even the bloke at the pub. If you've enjoyed our chatter, let us know in the comments section.
Absolutely, folks. And remember, we're a daily show, so there's always something new and exciting happening here. The world of Formula One is ever-changing, so be sure to keep up with all the action right here on F1 Motor Fever podcast.
From both of us, a huge thank you for being a part of this episode. We're already looking forward to the next one.
And before we sign off, remember, folks, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road. Our channel's content is pure gold.